if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. And Jack just absolutely loves bugs.
Two siblings vanished without warning. Their last known contact was with their closest friend, but was that friend truly innocent? New evidence has uncovered a secret far darker than anyone could have imagined. On the surface, it was just another quiet Wednesday evening in East Yorkshire. The streets were calm, the shops were closing, and families were settling in for the night. But by 9 p.m., everything changed. Helen Sullivan, a single mother of two, stood alone in her kitchen, glancing at the clock. Her children, Lily, 17, and Jack, 15, had not come home. At first, she told herself they were just running late. Maybe Lily was still with her best friend, Malehya. Maybe Jack had stopped off to see someone from school. But as the minutes turned to hours, worry quickly turned into fear. CCTV footage from that evening captured Lily and Jack walking together down Hanley Road at 6:12 p.m. The video, now infamous, shows the siblings casually chatting, Jack holding his backpack, and Lily wearing a hoodie tied around her waist. They were headed toward Malehya Thompson's house, a place they'd been dozens of times before. Nothing in their body language suggested concern. There was no sign they were being followed. No indication that something terrible was about to happen. But they never returned. By midnight, Helen reported her children missing. The next morning, police began door-to-door searches, canvassed the neighborhood, and pulled security footage from nearby homes and businesses. A timeline began to form. The siblings were last seen entering Malehya's house. But what happened after that remains a mystery. According to Malehya, the siblings came over for a short visit, then left around 7 p.m. She claimed they said they were heading to a local diner, but CCTV from the area showed no trace of them. Police found no evidence that Lily or Jack ever made it past Malehya Street. The alarm quickly spread across the community. Missing posters with their faces were plastered across lampposts and shop windows. Vigils were held. Social media lit up with calls for help, prayers, and theories. But something about Malehya's behavior immediately caught the attention of detectives. While Helen made emotional appeals on television and organized community searches, Malehya stayed silent. She didn't post about Lily or Jack. She didn't join the search. She didn't even return calls from Helen. For someone who had been described as Lily's closest friend, her emotional detachment was unnerving. Police requested to search Malehya's home. She consented, but nothing obvious was found. No signs of struggle, no personal items left behind by Lily or Jack. Yet detectives noted other things, a faint chemical smell in the garage, recently scrubbed floors in the guest bedroom, and digital logs that suggested a portion of Malehya's phone data had been deleted. It was subtle, but suspicious. Enough to raise red flags. The question was no longer just, where are Lily and Jack? It had evolved into something much darker. What does Malehya know, and why is she hiding it? To the outside world, Malehya Thompson was the kind of friend every parent wished their child had, respectful, charming, always smiling. In school photos, she was often seen with her arm around Lily Sullivan, laughing, their faces lit up with a bond that seemed unbreakable. On social media, their friendship appeared inseparable. Selfies in the park, late-night chats captured in Instagram stories, and birthday videos filled with inside jokes. Malehya was described by teachers as mature for her age, someone who often helped organize charity drives or stayed late to tutor struggling classmates. She was known for her bubbly personality, her willingness to listen, and the way she always showed up, especially for Lily. But beneath that seemingly perfect exterior, detectives began to notice subtle cracks. During initial questioning, Malehya claimed Lily and Jack came over for less than an hour, stayed in the living room, chatted for a while, and then left on foot around 7 p.m. She said they were planning to get food nearby. Her story sounded straightforward. Too straightforward. When officers asked about what they talked about or whether anything seemed unusual, her answers were vague, filled with generalities and quick deflections. Something felt off. Investigators decided to pull phone and location data. That's when things got even stranger. Malehya's mobile GPS didn't match her account. Between 6:30 p.m. and 7:45 p.m., her phone had gone dark for a 48-minute period, a sudden loss of data and location tracking, as if she had turned it off. When it powered back on, the device pinged a cell tower nearly 2 miles away from her home, contradicting her statement that she was inside watching TV alone. Malehya claimed her phone had glitched due to low battery, but tech experts found that explanation highly unlikely. Even more troubling were her online activities. Logs showed that 2 hours after the siblings were declared missing, she had deleted several message threads and removed a shared album of photos with Lilly. It wasn't just the deletion that concerned police, it was the timing. While Helen Sullivan was calling hospitals and desperately texting neighbors, Malehya was erasing memories. To the community, she was still the kind, caring best friend. But to detectives, she had become a puzzle with missing pieces. Why was she the last person to see both Lilly and Jack alive? Why did her version of events keep changing? And most importantly, if she had nothing to hide, why was she suddenly distancing herself from the people she once called family? These inconsistencies may have seemed minor at first, a confusing timeline, a lost signal, a few deleted photos. But experienced detectives knew better. In cases like this, small details often pointed to something much larger. Something hidden. Something dangerous. And in Malehya's case, the deeper they dug, the darker the truth became. As the investigation intensified, detectives knew they had to dig deeper into Malehya Thompson's story. Her initial statements were inconsistent, but was she hiding something more sinister? To find out, they meticulously analyzed her phone records and digital footprint, hoping for answers. The phone data painted a troubling picture. Malehya had claimed she stayed at home the entire evening, spending time with Lilly and Jack before they left. But when detectives examined the cellular tower pings and GPS logs, they found a glaring discrepancy. Between 6:45 p.m. and 7:30 p.m., the exact window when the siblings were supposed to be with her, Malehya's phone signal was detected miles away, in a part of town she never mentioned visiting. This contradicted her account and suggested that she was not where she claimed to be at a crucial moment. Even more unsettling was what came next. On the morning after Lilly and Jack disappeared, forensic specialists discovered that Malehya's internet browser history had been completely wiped clean. Every trace of her online activity, searches, social media visits, messages, had been deleted or erased. Investigators noted this was a deliberate act, as automatic clearing of browsing data on smartphones was uncommon without user intervention. Why had she scrubbed her history the very next day? What was she trying to hide? To detectives, these digital breadcrumbs hinted at premeditation and deception. They suggested that Malehya was not just a bystander but may have been attempting to cover her tracks. The deletion of the internet history raised questions about her state of mind and intentions immediately following the disappearance. Had she searched for ways to hide evidence? Or researched ways to mislead the investigation? This discovery sent shockwaves through the case. Malehya's carefully constructed image was starting to crumble. The more detectives probed, the clearer it became that this wasn't simply a tragic disappearance, it was a tangled web of lies, manipulation, and possibly something far more sinister. After weeks of searching and mounting despair, the case had reached a standstill. The community was desperate for answers, but every lead seemed to lead nowhere, until a chance discovery changed everything. On a cold morning, a local hiker decided to explore a remote section of woodland several miles from the Sullivan family home. As he moved through the thick underbrush, something unusual caught his eye, a partially buried, weathered metal box, hidden beneath layers of fallen leaves and dirt, nearly camouflaged by the forest floor. The hiker cautiously unearthed the box and opened it with trembling hands. Inside lay a blood-stained jacket, the faded fabric unmistakably belonging to Lilly Sullivan, based on the distinctive patch on the sleeve. The chilling evidence sent immediate shockwaves through the police force and the community alike, confirming fears that the missing teens had encountered violence. Next to the jacket lay an inconspicuous black flash drive, which at first glance appeared ordinary, until forensic experts began their painstaking examination. The drive was locked behind encryption, but after hours of work, the investigators accessed its contents. What they found was shocking. A cache of videos, photos, and messages that painted a disturbing picture of the days leading up to Lilly and Jack's disappearance. Among the footage were clips that showed conversations between Lilly and Malehya, revealing a strained relationship and hidden tensions previously unknown to family and friends. Other files contained text messages hinting at secrets Malehya desperately tried to keep buried. The discovery of this box and the data within it shifted the entire investigation. What had been a baffling missing persons case now carried the weight of undeniable evidence pointing to a darker, more sinister reality. Suddenly, Malehya Thompson was no longer just a friend with a shaky story. She was a central figure in a mystery that was unraveling fast. This breakthrough didn't just offer new leads, it threatened to expose truths some in the town wished would remain hidden forever. With the newfound evidence from the flash drive and the blood-stained jacket in hand, the police were finally ready to confront Malehya Thompson directly. Detectives arranged a formal interview, one that would mark a turning point in the investigation. As Malehya entered the sterile interrogation room, her confident demeanor seemed to falter ever so slightly. For the first time since the disappearance, the walls she had carefully built around herself showed cracks. The officers began by presenting the evidence: the jacket found in the woods, the encrypted files recovered from her flash drive, and the digital footprints that contradicted her earlier statements. Malehya listened in silence, her eyes darting between the officers, searching for any sign of mercy or escape. The detectives pressed her about the discrepancies in her story, her deleted internet history, and the strange phone location data placing her far from where she claimed to be that crucial night. Under the weight of evidence, Malehya's composure began to unravel. What started as vague denials turned into half-truths, and eventually, broken admissions. She confessed to meeting Lilly and Jack that evening but denied any intention of harm. However, as the questioning intensified, details slipped, mentions of an argument, unexplained trips outside the house, and a sense of panic creeping into her voice. Investigators sensed that beneath her hesitant words lay a deeper, darker truth. Outside the interrogation room, Helen Sullivan waited anxiously, clutching a photo of her missing children. For the family, this confrontation was the fragile hope they needed, the possibility that answers were finally within reach. The community, too, watched closely, aware that the person once thought to be a trusted friend was now at the center of a devastating investigation. This moment would change everything, forcing Malehya to face the consequences of her actions and pushing the case toward its shocking climax. Following the intense interrogation, the layers of Malehya Thompson's carefully hidden secrets began to unravel, revealing a chilling and complex truth. The evidence gathered from the flash drive and her contradictory statements exposed not just a moment of panic, but a premeditated act of betrayal. Malehya confessed to a series of events that sent shockwaves through everyone involved. She revealed how tensions between her and Lilly had been simmering beneath the surface for months, rivalries, jealousy, and feelings of abandonment that escalated into heated confrontations. The night Lilly and Jack disappeared was not a casual visit but a planned meeting that spiraled out of control. Malehya admitted to an argument that turned violent, and how in the chaos, things went horribly wrong. She described a desperate attempt to cover her tracks, the erasing of messages, the deletion of browser history, even the hiding of the jacket to delay discovery of the truth. The flash drive's contents became clear, recordings and messages she intended to use as leverage or protection if things went south. Detectives uncovered that Malehya had been manipulating not just Lilly and Jack but the entire community by maintaining a facade of innocence. The darker reality was one of betrayal by someone trusted, a secret jealousy turned deadly. This revelation shocked the town and devastated the Sullivan family. What began as a simple disappearance had transformed into a tragic story of friendship turned fatal. Malehya's confession opened the door for the police to uncover more physical evidence and witness testimonies, which would ultimately bring justice for Lilly and Jack. The community grappled with disbelief. How could someone so close hide such a dangerous secret? The truth was finally out, exposing the darkness lurking beneath the surface of a friendship that had once seemed unbreakable. With Malehya Thompson's confession and the mounting evidence, the case moved swiftly toward closure, but the scars it left ran deep throughout the community. The trial that followed was intense, drawing widespread attention as details of betrayal, jealousy, and deceit emerged. Witnesses recounted the complicated relationships and signs that had been overlooked, while forensic evidence sealed the narrative painted by Malehya's own admissions. For the Sullivan family, the trial was both a painful reliving of trauma and a necessary step toward healing. Though justice was served in the courtroom, nothing could erase the loss of Lilly and Jack, or the heartbreak of knowing the danger had come from within their circle of trust. The town of East Yorkshire grappled with the shock, questioning how such darkness had gone unnoticed in their close-knit community. Schools and neighborhood groups began initiatives to raise awareness about the signs of hidden conflict and the importance of speaking up. Malehya's name became synonymous with betrayal, a cautionary tale about the cost of secrets and deceit. Yet amid the sorrow, there was a shared resolve to honor the memory of the siblings by fostering a safer environment for future generations. Ultimately, the case of Lilly and Jack Sullivan stands as a haunting reminder of the fragile nature of trust, and the devastating consequences when it is broken. Their story, once a mystery, now serves as a solemn chapter in true crime history, one where new evidence exposed the truth, and justice was pursued with relentless determination.